Hey guys, this is Mrs. Cutting, and this is a homework help video for Unit 2, Lesson 4 and 5. So we are talking about equivalent ratios. So a couple of days ago we did this thing called turning green, and it said your teacher mixed milliliters of blue water and milliliters of yellow water in the ratio of 5 to 15, and then you needed to draw a diagram to show the amount of each color that would double my recipe. So if my original was 5 to 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's one batch. So to double it, I'm going to draw another group of 5 yellow and another group of, 5 blue and another group of 15 yellow. And then we looked at this, and so I mixed 5 blue with 15 yellow and made this shade of green. And then for a double batch, we mixed 10 blue and 30 yellow. Let me show the amount so I don't have to count. And we saw that a double batch makes the exact same shade as the single batch. So then we did a triple batch. So for a triple batch, we would have 3 groups of 5. I'm not actually going to draw it. And 3 groups of 15. And then we saw with our simulator that a triple batch, which would be 15 blue and 45, I passed it, 15 blue and 45 yellow, it also makes the exact same shade of green. So then our lesson 4 summary talked about how when we're mixing colors, doubling and tripling the amount of each color will create the same shade. We can always multiply the amount of each color by the same number to create a different amount of the same mixed color. So here they were making orange paint, and a single batch would be 4 reds and 2 yellows. A double batch would be double that amount, 8 reds and 4 yellows, and a triple batch would be triple that amount, so 12 reds and 6 yellows, but they're all going to make that exact same shade of orange. So we say that the ratio is 4 to 2 for a single batch, 8 to 4 for a double, and 12 to 6 for a triple are equivalent because they describe the same color mixture in different numbers of batches, and they make the same shade of orange. So that should help you with the lesson 4 homework. So then the lesson 5, here's where we really were talking about equivalent ratios and calling them equivalent ratios. So it tells us that the ratios 5 to 3 and 10 to 6 are equivalent, and then it asks if 15 to 12 are equivalent to those, and explain your reasoning. So I'm going to just look at 5 to 3 for a moment. So if I have the ratio of 5 to 3, and then I'm looking at 15 to 12, and I want to know if it's equivalent. If it's equivalent, there needs to be a number that I can multiply 5 by to get to 15, and I need to be able to multiply 3 by the same number to get to 12. Well, I know that 5 times 3 gives me 15, but over here, if I do 3 times 3, that's not going to give me 12. So those are not equivalent because I can't multiply both by the same number to give me my other ratio. So then it asked about 30 to 18. So if I set up my 5 to 3 and my 30 to 18, to get from 5 to 30, I would do times 6. On this side, to get from 3 to 18, I would also do times 6. So since I'm multiplying both numbers in my ratio by the same number, they are equivalent. So how do we know when they are equivalent? We can multiply them by the same number. How do we know when they're not equivalent? We can't multiply them by the same number. So this would be times 3 on this side, and then to get to 12, it would be times 4, and that's not going to work. All right, so then our lesson 5 summary. all ratios that are equivalent to A to B, and this, they're just showing you that can be any ratio, can be made by multiplying A and B by the same number. So here they showed us 9 to 6, and if they multiply the 9 by 2, they get to 18. If they multiply the 6 by 2, they get to 12. So since they can multiply both by the same number, 18 to 12 is equivalent. And then they showed one where the other one was smaller, so here we're multiplying by 1/3. And they showed us a non-example. This is not equivalent. So 9 times 2 gives us 18, but 6 times 2 does not give us 15, so that's an example of ratios that are not equivalent. So that should help you with your Lesson 5 practice problems. All right, see you next time.